Hey everyone, thank you very much for your time today. I greatly appreciate it. Please, before we go any further, hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it for my channel. I have some other Dead Mall videos coming up. So today, I am coming to you from the Richland Mall in Columbia, South Carolina. And what's so important is that the Richland Mall is currently in redevelopment plans and going to be sold. Yes, we are going to have a mixed-use development here. The mall will either all be demolished or parts of it will be demolished, but this is a very exciting time. Now, what's great about this mall, as we all know, those Dead Mall enthusiasts out there like me, this mall is the sister mall to Forest Fair and or Cincinnati Mills out in Ohio. This is a mall that had some ultra premium retailers. And I said, you know what? I want to go and film this mall. I want to get inside and film it, but I knew I couldn't get inside. And all of you out there watching this video, please do not attempt to get inside this mall. Richland County, the Sheriff's Office, actually works out in this mall, and there is also 24-hour security at this property. Do not attempt to get into this mall. You will wind up in jail. Also, I've received word that it's not too safe inside the mall, definitely because of mold, also maybe some other factors. Now, with the redevelopment of this property, this is really exciting news for Columbia, South Carolina, and other residents in the surrounding communities, because this is going to be a mixed-use property with lots of residences, lots of retail. This is great, great news versus the current status of the mall. There are only a few retailers left here. One, Barnes & Noble, really nice Barnes & Noble location, and also they have a Belk location here at this mall. So other than that, the mall is dead and has been sealed off, no access to any folks to walk around or anything like that. And we are on the top of the mall right now. So for those of you that do not know, the Richland Mall is a very unique property, very unique structure. And what's so unique about it is that it's in a very tight space in an intersection here in Columbia. And you'd never actually know that the mall is here if you're just driving past. You know, a lot of malls, you're on major highways, you'll see a sign off to the side, a major pylon sign. It's not like that here at the Richland Mall. So many of the entrances and exits, they literally just look like little roadways. You'd never know the mall is here. So we are actually on the roof of the mall. This is where the parking deck is. So this is part of the parking deck. And there is a full deck that I believe is 3 or 4 levels that we're about to drive on in a few moments. Now, all of the scenery that you see here and all of these what look like little greenhouses are actually the ways that you would access the mall. So you would drive up into the parking deck, you would drive onto the top of the mall where we're at right now, and then you would walk down into the mall. So for those of you that have seen videos from Sal, Do Me Grunt, also Aces Adventures, the folks that have been here before me in the YouTube world, these little greenhouse areas were actually in really nice conditions in a lot of those videos, but they have gotten horribly worse. People have thrown rocks, God knows what else they've thrown towards the glass here, and you'll see everything is boarded up, a lot of busted glass, so really unsafe area, and so please, please, please do not come up here and expect to do anything bad or walk around. The only reason I was able to get up here is because one of the barriers that was on one side actually wasn't on the other side, so I'm not doing anything illegal right now. I was able to drive around, document what's going on up here, so it was really exciting because I've actually visited this mall a few times before. I've actually never been inside. It's always been closed since I've moved down here to South Carolina, but it was really exciting to be able to drive around and document all of the mess that is up here. Now, this is most likely part of the property that is going to be demolished. I'm not sure on what's going to be demolished and what's not. There are several news articles out there, so please take the time, if you're interested, go ahead and read up on what's going on here at the Richland Mall. So as we spin around, you'll see the HVAC units. They were actually active. I could hear them working, so I assume that is for the Belk location that's here. And as we start to move forward, you'll see a lot of water. I assume a lot of that water probably has also been leaking into the mall. I know a few of the videos that we've seen from the Dead Mall folks here in the YouTube world. There's been a lot of water damage in the mall, a lot of ceiling tiles that have fallen. So all of this water is definitely created an issue for the mall through the years. Also, as that song ends right there, I want to give a shout out to Retail Archaeology, one of my favorite channels here on YouTube. He's always using that little jazz music in the background, so I wanted to use that today in my Richland Mall video. So we'll go ahead and we'll start to look forward here. We see more boarded up areas. There's a sign off to the left here. That's actually the sign for Parisian, for the arrow to go ahead and walk down towards Parisian. I stopped there and I actually took a little shot I wanted to have on my camera of that sign. I've actually never been to a Parisian previously, and I guess they were probably nice, kind of like Nordstrom, maybe even higher end retail than Nordstrom. Which is really weird because those higher end retailers, that's really not probably what was wanted in the Columbia, South Carolina area. It's certainly a nice area. There is a lot of money in Columbia, but those high-end retailers decades ago probably weren't needed here in the Columbia area. Now, I do have some other Dead Mall videos that are coming up. I'm going to be visiting the Dutch Square Center, Dutch Square Mall, so please watch for that video, and also the Columbia Place Mall. I do have that coming up, and then also I have another video that is coming from down here in Charleston, South Carolina, the Northwoods Mall. So please stay tuned, and again, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. So we'll go ahead and continue our little drive around here on the roof of the mall. You see a lot of stuff that has been fenced off through the years. I wonder what the maroon tarp was over there, the little tented area. I wonder what that entered into. I know that's not Belk. If anybody happens to know, please put that in the comments. We'd greatly appreciate it. And anyone else, do you happen to know some of the history here of the Richland Mall? Share your stories. Let me know about the mall. The stores that you used to shop in. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Definitely want to hear all the good and bad about this mall. Let's document it here in the comment section and keep this. Guys, I'm not sure how long this parking deck's going to be here. Are they going to demolish it real fast? Are they going to demolish it in a few years? But hey, you know what? We've got it on video here on YouTube. All right, so now doing a little transition, and we're going to head down into the parking deck. There's no lighting in the parking deck, so you're about to see a really scary parking deck, guys. You're also going to see a lot of water on the floor of the parking deck. So again, probably a lot of leaks in the levels here. But as we go forward, you'll see no light. So imagine walking through this parking deck with no lights. You'll see one of the roads there that abut the property for this mall. We'll spin around. I think there was maybe 2 cars here in the parking deck. There's no access to the mall, and I believe one walkway might go into Belk here. That's a little bit further down. I'll spin around, I'll start to head down, and then I think we're going to be at where we're at the ground level here, coming down. Going to make a right, and then we're going to start to come down to the area where there are some more folks that are parked specifically for the Belk store here, again, that is still open. I think we've got one more turn and we're going to be there. Yep, there's some of those folks there, guys. Watch out. Don't try to get into this mall. I think those are some of the sheriff's vehicles off there that we just passed by. I know that there's a few locations that they enter this mall through, so be safe, don't get in trouble, all right? All right, here we go. There's some of our Belk customers and also some of the folks for Barnes & Noble. Now, as we come to the main ground floor level here, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to go around the mall in one direction and also in another direction. So please stay tuned here. Don't click off yet. And as we pulled forward there, you saw off to the top, the railing that was at the very, very top of the building. And again, that's where we were just driving around on top of the mall. Go ahead, and lots of speed bumps also around this property. Now, I believe this store that's down on the end here that's in the front of us, I believe that was Parisian at one time. You'll see that it's boarded up in the main tour there, so somebody must have busted the glass, unfortunately. And again, maybe 1 or 2 cars left on this side of the parking lot. There's really nothing to access over here. We're going to go ahead and spin around towards the back. Now, as we move towards the back, One of the things that I want to mention here is that this building also housed a Verizon contact center at one time. So Verizon Wireless actually had offices here where they had staff members that would take phone calls. Now I don't know which department, but off to the right there you'll see all that parking deck off to the, or parking area off to the right, and that's where the Verizon folks used to park. And then everything that we're about to drive under right now was that Verizon contact center. So here's another area with zero lighting, so kind of scary here. Luckily my camera lit things up a little bit, but I'll definitely say it was kind of sketch here underneath this parking area. So we're going to go ahead and move forward here. Now off to the left side in a moment, this is actually a customer pickup area for Belk. So I'm not sure if that's actually still accessible, if folks are able to pick up items there. It doesn't look like it's used all that much, and also there's a bunch of trash around, and also a lot of ceiling tiles that have fallen down. We're going to go ahead and back up, and then we're going to go ahead and move forward. Yeah, this mall obviously probably had cars everywhere here under the parking deck and under the Verizon Center at one time, but unfortunately it is no more. Now I'm going to go ahead and keep on moving around. See those Jersey walls for all my Jersey folks out there, keeping cars out of that area. A lot of big potholes also around the mall. We're going to go ahead and spin around. We're going to make a left here. Now this is another one of the Anchor stores that of course went out of business. If you know which Anchor this was, please put it in the comments section. We definitely want to know what was that Anchor here on the very, very end of the mall all the way to the left. Now we're about to come up on what was basically the main entrance of the mall. At one point it looks like it also was a seafood restaurant. You'll see a blue and white sign there. So it must have been a really nice restaurant at one time, but that is the main entrance right there to the left next to the Barnes & Noble. Got a really nice Barnes & Noble. I've actually been to this Barnes & Noble a few times and have parked on the 45-degree angle that's off to the right side. It's kind of crazy parking in that area. Now this would be where you would enter the deck again that we came down from. You'll see some folks that are walking out of the Barnes & Noble, and then also you'll see our entrances to the Belk onto the left side here. Here we got somebody heading over to Belk. This is a massive, massive complex, and it's actually on a very small area here, square footage wise or acreage wise. There's one of the walkovers that would have went to the main entrance to the mall. This must have been so nice at one time. There's another walkover. And what we're going to do now is we are going to go ahead and turn around, and we are going to go in the other direction, so that you guys can have a nice view to the left, nice view to the right. Again, my apologies for my window mount there getting in the way, but the gimbal is doing its job so that I can stay safe while I'm driving. All right, we're coming back to that one walkway heading over. Well, the amount of construction that happened here years ago, very impressive. Massive parking deck here. Another walkover, of course. And then we're about to come back to our Barnes & Noble. Somebody else coming out of the Barnes & Noble right there. So other than this section here that we're driving in right now, you really wouldn't even know, again, if you were driving on the roads past the mall, that there was a mall here. Barnes & Noble to the right. The restaurant off to the right there, that of course is out of business now. And again, that main Anchor on the other end there. What was that main Anchor, folks? Let me know, again, in the comments section. All right, we're about to make a right here, and we're going to head back underneath that Verizon contact center. There we go. One more time we're going to go through just so you guys can see it from another angle. Again, all of the Verizon employees will be parked up there on the left side. Little drive over there. And we're going to come back to the Belk customer pickup area. We'll get back into focus here in a moment. All right, folks, and as we close out here again, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Really appreciate your time. Please subscribe if you could, would really appreciate it. A lot of great things are coming here for the Columbia, South Carolina city, and also for this Richland Mall property. Got a lot of great stuff coming. I'll be giving you some more videos as we move forward here, but definitely keep an eye for all those dead mall enthusiasts out there. This one is about to be done, so please come by and visit if you could, capture a few shots, and again, I'll say it for the last time, do not attempt to get into this mall. And I'm spinning around here on the Verizon area. I'll take a look back, and as we drive over the little bridge there, that is going to come close to the end of our video. Thank you so much for your time today. Please subscribe, and I will be back with some more Dead Mall videos. Have a great day. Bye-bye.